welcome back to my channel. Or if you, oh my gosh, I haven't said this in so long. Or if you're new, welcome. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be rating some of my most viral DIY projects over the past few years with you guys. And a lot of people were asking questions about them, and I never really had time to just sit down and revisit how they're doing. Like, how did they hold up over the years? Would I do them again? Was it worth the effort? All of that. So for each project, I'll be scoring them in 3 categories based on aesthetics, function, and ease, and just giving you an overall score so you can understand whether or not the projects are worth doing yourself. Also, I will be linking any videos and things like that that I reference in the description box, so just look there for any information you need. But yeah, this video is also a little bit of a reset because if you had seen in the Costa Rica vlogs that were recently posted, I had mentioned that we had just bought a house. Now, I uploaded that a little late, so it's actually been a year since that intro was filmed, so we've been in our new home for exactly a year now. Let's just say there is a lot of renovation content for you guys that is going to be posted soon, so please stick around. But for now, let's get into these DIY project ratings because there were some wins, and then, you know, there were some, you'll see. First things first, the no hard wire renter friendly ceiling light. This one, I would say in short, it looked great. I loved how it looked when it was up. It was so cute. It was a nice little feature in the room. So aesthetics was great. I would say the install process was it was okay. There was a little hiccup. If you remember the video that was posted, you would see a couple of the bumps in the roads, but once it was up, it stayed. It was up for, I want to say 2 years. I'll put the dates on the screen if I got that wrong. But overall, my biggest issue with that was the bulb itself. Like, it just died so damn quickly. I get it. It's battery powered. Maybe I should have got some stronger batteries. To be honest, I might have been using Dollar Tree batteries. I don't know. But it just died so quickly. Like, I felt like I only got 2 or 3 days use out of it before it would die. And that was just really annoying to me. I thought it was going to be more of like a change the battery once a month or something. Like 3 days, come on. So I would say the removal, it was fine. Like, it came off pretty smoothly. It left a little bit of residue, but it was nothing. Like, it wiped right off. So overall, I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. Would I recommend? Yes, I would. I think it's a beautiful project and it looks great. It adds accent lighting where you need it. The only thing I would not recommend is using the battery. I don't know if it's the light bulb that's the problem or the battery, but try a different bulb. But the light itself was gorgeous. So, okay, the no drill renter friendly TV mount. Wow, this one went nuts on the internet. People loved it. I loved it. This was my favorite, okay? I always thought that if you were mounting your TV, you had to like drill the big, you know, quarter size holes in the wall, and it was gonna be this whole thing. You had to talk to the leasing office. Baby, these are picture holes. Not any, I won't say any. There's always gonna be those sticklers, but for the most part, most apartment complexes and landlords understand that you're gonna hang pictures. Like, they understand that there's gonna be little picture nail holes. That's not something you're gonna lose your security deposit over. And that is the extent of the holes that are put into these walls. And I love that about this. Overall, functionally, it held strong. It did what it needed to do. My TV never wavered, wobbled, or anything like that. Aesthetically, it looked great. You would have thought I mounted it professionally. So that was perfect. As far as the ease, install was fine, removal was fine. The only reason I'll give it a little nix there is because you do need to get a little bit of spackle and patch up the holes. Unless your landlord really doesn't care because they're just picture holes, then you leave it. And maintenance will fix it up when you move out. So that one gets a 9 out of 10 for me. Would I recommend this again? Absolutely. Absolutely. I recommend it to my clients, like my e-design clients, especially if they're in rentals and they want to mount their TVs. I recommend it to them. Absolutely. It worked beautifully for me and I 1000% would use it again. Honestly, we're not even renting in this house. Obviously, we own it, and I still would use it in here if I didn't feel like going through the whole rigmarole of mounting it properly. The only thing I will say is it doesn't swivel, so if you want something that swivels, okay, this won't be for you, but whatever. The renter-friendly built-in fireplace. Wow, this one is my favorite DIY project. It is one that I was so proud of because I honestly have not seen people do something similar to that. And if they have, I didn't say it doesn't exist. Just don't fry me up. I just haven't seen it myself. So I thought it was pretty unique. It was pretty cool. And I'm glad that it worked. Like, I was winging it, y'all, and it worked. So I really wish I had made the entire living room moody and some dramatic art on either side or something. Like, I wish I had done a little more. And also I wish I had gone with a different, like, marble print, like something with less veining in it. But honestly, even with it, I still think it was 100% beautiful. So I'm not even gonna nix that. Aesthetically, perfect. Functionally perfect. The fireplace feature, with it being a no heat fireplace, perfect, especially for it being a renter-friendly project. And then as far as ease of install, it wasn't a complicated install. Yes, there were a lot of steps, but it wasn't hard to do. And removal was perfectly fine. Not an ounce of damage was done. I was so sad taking that damn project apart, man. Anyway, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Beautiful, beautiful. I highly recommend you do this in your apartment if this is something you have space for in your living room. 10 out of 10. Okay, DIY wall sconce. This one's a quick one. It was cute. Install took 2 seconds. Suck it on. Removal, 2 seconds. Pulled it off. Function, it served the purpose that it needed to serve at the time. I wanted it to give the appearance of like 2 lights on either side of the mirror. I never got around to finishing the project. I did plan to put like battery powered lights in them to shine. I never got around to it. So functionally, it didn't really serve a function besides looking like a light. So me. Aesthetics, it was cute. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. For the pantry, this one, it was more of like a pantry makeover organization video. So I'm really just gonna talk about the gold peel and stick piece. All in all, chef's kiss. It just gave such a luxury, like high-end touch, like just a small little accent to the pantry that I needed. I love that it was something that you didn't really see until you opened it. And it stayed flawless the entire time. It never wavered or anything like that. So honestly, aesthetics, great. Ease of install, great. Took 2 seconds to put it on, 2 seconds to pull it off. No residue was left behind. And as far as the function, it did what it needed to do. It was just there to be a little pop of metal, or the appearance of metal. Obviously, it was peel and stick. So 10 out of 10. So this next one was the renter-friendly, like black paint effect in my living room, which essentially was just contact paper on the wall. Overall, aesthetics, excellent. I'm honestly sad. You'll notice if you look through my old projects, I had a little thing for accent walls. I'm kind of past that phase. I really wish I took that black and just brought it all the way around the room and really just went moody in that living room. It would have been so nice. But yeah, function, it did what it needed to do. It was there as an accent, and it looked like I painted the wall black. It was gorgeous. And then as far as ease of install, a little tedious to put up, but that's just the nature of contact paper. But removal was a piece of cake. When I tell you that particular brand, it peels off like butter. Now, I have talked about this in a TikTok video before. When you go with the cheaper contact papers, they tend to be less sticky. And the more expensive contact papers are like, they adhere to the wall. And it's like, golly, wait a minute. I need my security deposit back. Relax. So I will say I do like this contact paper because it was a gentle adhesion, like enough to stick to the wall and stay there. 9 out of 10. Would I recommend this? Absolutely. I personally like this contact paper. And again, this is a contact paper that I usually will recommend to my clients if it's the only thing I don't like is that it seems like they have a limited array of colors, but if it has colors that work with like the color scheme that I'm going for with one of my clients, I even recommend that contact paper to them when I'm suggesting that they cover the entire wall in their rental, just because I know it worked for me. It comes off like butter. So yeah, I would 100% recommend. Now, piggybacking off that same brand of contact paper, my DIY $5 shower project. Overall, it looked good. Now, when you looked up close, you would see like little nicks here and there, but at that point, it's a bathroom. Like, if you're examining my shower that close up, get out. If you're a guest, get out. I would say overall, aesthetically, it looked fine. Function, I made it a point to install the contact paper just on the front side, and then I brought it over, but it's not installed on the inner side of the shower. So obviously I didn't want water and things like that to affect it. I will say, even though the bathroom, you know, it gets hot, it gets steamy and things like that with moisture in the air, it didn't waver. Like it stayed up fine. It stayed up the full duration of my lease after I put it up. So as far as function goes, it worked well. And then yeah, as far as ease, again, I'm always gonna give contact paper that little nicks. It's a little annoying to install. It didn't take that long. It wasn't that big a deal. Removal was nice and smooth. I will say one thing I personally noticed with contact papers is that whenever I'm installing them in places where there's moisture, sometimes it's like a little harder to come up. This one wasn't a struggle to remove, but there were some very particular spots where when I would go to peel off the contact paper, it just kept breaking into smaller pieces. So it wasn't leaving residue, but it was breaking apart, which was just getting on my nerves because I was trying to rush because I was moving out. That's it. So I'd give it a little nix there. Overall, 8 out of 10. It was fine. The DIY spice rack. This was such a cute project. Aesthetics, perfect. Function, perfect. Ease of install, perfect. Removal, perfect. It was 10 out of 10. I would highly recommend you do this. Just make sure that you check out the video that I posted showing you how I made it. Just make sure that it fits the dimensions of whatever your drawer is, but it's such a great project and it's so durable. And I made it using a glue gun and some tape and a Dollar Tree foam board, guys. It just looks so good. So this is one of the DIYs that I am still proud of to this day. Like, my design style, I would say, has definitely shifted over the years. I forgot how old, I was young. This was my second apartment at the time, but so I probably would nix like the rhinestones and things like that I had used, but overall it was a beautiful DIY. It was such a statement piece in that room, and I 100% would recommend that people do that project in their homes. It was 1000% renter friendly. It did not leave a dent, a mark, a nothing. It came off with 0 damage, and it just looks so luxe and high end and built in. Check that video out. If you want to see a whole separate video of what that process was like removing it, let me know. But overall, 10 out of 10, would highly recommend. Do that project if you want like a big grand luxe headboard in your rental. So next is this accent wall that I had done in my third apartment in my bedroom. Again, with me and these damn accent walls, I really wish I had just brought the moodiness all the way around the room instead of honing in on just an accent wall. But overall, it was such a nice project and it added such a nice touch to the room. It was the first thing you saw when you walked in. I also loved the like dimension that I got with it. There was that marble 3D pop that I had added to the side. Again, though, with the contact paper, I really do have a love-hate relationship with it. I get super like impatient when it's time to install it. But then once it's up, I love it and it stays up the whole time, and I'm just so happy that I did it. So as far as ease of install, I'll give it a little nix there just because, again, contact paper and me just... But aesthetically, it did what it needed to do. Functionally, it was great. Just a little, you know, contact paper thing. I'll give this whole thing a 9 out of 10, and I highly recommend. I would definitely tell people to, again, use that brand or a similar brand where you know the contact paper will melt off like butter. But yeah, I highly recommend. This marble wall effect, oh my gosh, this one is such a nostalgic project. This is one from my very first apartment. This was like 2018, 2019. This was like one of my first big, like, I'm living by myself, like DIY projects. So it's very nostalgic, but I would say it came out very nicely. The execution would have been even better had I, so on the wallpaper piece, if you remember from that video, it's a very old video, so putting it here, I had laid painter's tape on the wall and laid that all on the wall in a grid pattern, and then I put double-sided tape over it to stick the wallpaper on, because it wasn't a contact paper. I remember that was like a legit wallpaper that wasn't tacky on the back or sticky. The only flaw there was the installation. I was definitely being really skimpy with the painter's tape and the double-sided tape, because I think I was just running out of material, and I didn't feel like going back to the store to get more, so I was trying to make the double-sided tape last. So I would just give it like a okay, like it was good. Aesthetics were good, functionally it was good, ease of install removal was good. Like, I'll give this one an 8 out of 10. Do I recommend that you do it? 100%, absolutely. It was such a cute project. Maybe different color scheme if, you know, but overall it was a really cute project. So next is the peel and stick countertop that wasn't actually adhered to the countertop. So this is an older DIY. This is one that I did, I believe this was my second apartment that I was in. This was around the time, like 21 or something, where like everyone was putting the marble contact paper on their countertops. And I remember my landlord was just being such a damn stickler about any sort of anything that had adhesion. So I was really adamant about having my damn sticky marble countertops like everybody else, but I made sure that I did it in a way where the contact paper wasn't directly attached to the countertop. So I made a whole video, I think I have 2 videos on it, honestly, about how I was able to get that marble countertop without actually sticking the contact paper to the countertop. Overall, I would say it came out really nicely. Aesthetically, it looked good. Ease of install, I would, you know, give it just a slight nix, only because it's more steps than just attaching the contact paper to the countertop, because I had to do all that prep work first, like just because there was more steps. Function, good. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Would I recommend you do this? Yes, but there's probably better methods than, I think I use wrapping paper, like for presents. Like there's probably better methods than that. Last but not least, this peel and stick gold backsplash that I did in my kitchen. Okay, so I'll start with the perfect score. As far as ease of removal goes, it came off like butter, okay? 0 damage was done. The walls were in perfectly good condition. Perfect. Now, looking back, I know the vision that I had in mind for it, but as far as the execution goes, it was... I remember exactly what I was trying to go for, and it's something I still want to go for in our new home when we finish this damn kitchen. Don't even get me started. But I was trying to go for that like aged mirrored look backsplash in the kitchen. And I didn't feel like putting in the time and effort to like finding a material that was affordable that could mimic that, or like finding a cheap mirror and like figuring out how to make it look aged. Like I just didn't feel like going that deep into it for the rental. So I went for option number 2, which was trying to like mimic this like polished brass look. I had the white like lacquered kind of cabinets already, like this contemporary polished brass like backsplash. Like that's what I was trying to go for. And it came out okay for what I was trying to do. And it lasted, it stayed up through to the end of my lease. But I would just say the installation method that I used, again, I was trying to protect the walls. So I'm pretty sure I had laid like a poster board on the walls first and then stuck it to the poster board. And just that ruined it, honestly, for me. I would say over time, it did begin to like, not a lot, but it just ever so slightly began to sag a little. Like nothing crazy, but just enough to bug me. And because of that, like it didn't look horrible, but it did look ever so slightly tacky. And it was just, And to be honest, I think it would have been cute. This is actually the same material that I used in the pantry and on the spice rack. So I think this could have been cute had I just installed it directly onto the wall. At the time, I didn't know what the adhesion was like, so I was testing it out inside the pantry. Now that I know that it left 0 damage, I wish I had just installed it directly onto the wall. I think what really made this an issue is because it's like a reflective material. So if it's not installed perfectly smoothly and it's reflective, like any little crevice and fold and sag, like it's gonna like warp the reflection. It just looks weird. It looked a little tacky. So that was that. Overall, I'm giving this one a 5 out of 10. However, if I'm pretty sure had I just installed the contact paper directly onto the wall and it was like a nice crisp smooth installation, like no warping, no folds or crevices or anything like that, and it was just nice and smooth, I probably would have given this one an 8 out of 10. So would I recommend that you do this again? Not like how I did it. I would just, that brand in particular, it left no residue. Just stick it on your wall. It's renter friendly, okay? Like that's my take there. So yeah, I hope this video helped you decide which DIYs you think you should pursue, which ones that maybe you should skip. But before I wrap up, I do want to give you a little sneak peek on what's to come in 2025. We have gotten married, we bought this house, and there is just so much footage that I have backed up over this past year that I am going to diligently be getting edited and ready to share with you guys so you can understand what our first year of home ownership was like. You know, I am a DIY girly. Sometimes I'm a little overzealous and I bite off way more than I can chew. So we're just gonna kind of take you through that journey of our first year of home ownership, the projects that we took on so far, the things that we had to pay for as far as maintenance and repairs. We did buy an older home. Basically, you'll just kind of get the inside scoop of everything we went through in our first year of home ownership. A lot of unforeseen expenses went into repairing some things that went wrong with this house. And yeah, we're gonna share all of that with you because it's good to know what you might be getting yourself into in your first year of home ownership. So stick around for that. If you love home renovations and room makeovers and DIYs, definitely gonna wanna stick around because there is a ton of content on that coming your way this year. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss any of the updates that are coming up in 2025. See you on the next one. Bye!